All right, we have head coach Tyson Helton. Coach will open it up with a statement, then we'll jump into questions.
Big week this week, going on the road, playing a really good opponent, Toledo. They're a fantastic football team. Had a great game with them last year and was able to pull out the victory at home. Now we go to play them. Had a chance to watch them versus Kentucky. Very good football team. All three phases, very well-coached football team, good players. So it should be a really good game. I know both teams will be excited to play each other. It's what college football is all about. You know, you early in the season, you're going on the road for the first time. We'll be tested in every single way, and looking forward to that challenge. With that said, questions?
Anything right off the bat that stood out to you watching Toledo play that Kentucky?
Well, first thing, all three phases, excellent. You know, they go to Kentucky, have a chance to win the game. You know, a couple things didn't happen in their favor. You know, defensively, got a good front. You know, across the board, all 11 of their players are good, talented players, can cover in the back end. They got good pass rush, can control the line of scrimmage. So definitely a big test for us offensively. You know, their offense, have a lot of respect for their quarterback, good player. He can run, he can throw, got good running backs, big physical offensive line, got receivers that can make plays down the field. So, you know, there's a challenge there for sure. But I think we match up well. And, you know, this game is about doing things the right way, being a disciplined football team, making your plays when they're there to be made, and, you know, try to win the game in the fourth quarter.
Now, Kentucky had most of their success running the ball against them. Did you get a sense that they wore them down a little bit, or were they just so focused on having to run the ball that
I thought Kentucky's done a good job in the offseason with acquiring some good offensive linemen, and you know, for the most part, they were able to control the line of scrimmage, but I thought Toledo did a great job, too, of not giving them a lot. I thought the running backs for Kentucky did a nice job. Toledo gave up a long run there late in the fourth that kind of broke the game open. Other than that, though, I thought for the most part defensively they did a fantastic job against Kentucky.
Coach, you mentioned how their defense did a great job. Kind of talking about your offense, how important is it coming into this week for your offense to sustain long drives and keep that defense on the field?
Yeah, the biggest thing is third down conversions, right? You got to be successful on third down. When you have opportunities to make plays down the field, you need to make those plays. We got to keep the chains moving in the run game. You know, we got to be able to do those things. Can't take negative plays, right? Can't take sacks, can't take TFLs. Can't have unnecessary penalties. You know, all those things will add up against you. So, got to play good, clean football and make your plays when they're there to be made.
In that game, obviously last year, you guys had 71 rushing yards against Toledo. How do you kind of plan on improving from that going into Saturday?
Well, every year's different, and you know, we got to continue. It's early in the week. Continue to see where we can gain an edge there. Again, respect. I have a lot of respect for their front, you know, so we got to do a good job with our run schemes, making sure we give our guys good angles. But, you know, like anything, it's no different than any other week. You try to game plan to your favor.
Speaking of that game last year, obviously kind of the lightning bowl, you might call it, with that delay. You guys came out and looked like a different team after that. Just kind of walk through that win, what it meant for the program. You say you celebrate all wins, but
yeah.
I guess you celebrated that one a little more.
Well, I think, you know, again, it goes back to having respect for your opponent. And last year they had come off a big win at Mississippi State. And within the coaching profession, you know, good teams recognize each other. And we recognize that Toledo is a really good quality football team. And so to go get that win the way we did, compete all the way through four quarters and go win it in the fourth quarter like we talk about all the time, that was big for us. And so now we need to go do that again at their place, so it'll be a great challenge. But I love our football team. You know, I think they're really looking forward to being able to compete on the road, you know, and have this first test, and we'll see what happens at the end of the game.
Really cool stat that Jared shared with us before this is that the 96 points in these first 2 weeks of play is the most put up by the program since its FBS era. How, like, hearing that, do you kind of think of that, like, to motivate you all? Like, no, we need to build upon that bigger. What does that mean to you when you hear that?
You know, that you're only as good as your last game. And so, you know, we turn the page after every game. It's good to know what the team is capable of doing. But, you know, I've seen a lot of football teams that, you know, they got off to good starts and then they kind of sputtered out, right? So we got to keep the pedal to the metal. We got to continue to go make the plays that are there to be made. Again, we will be tested in every way this week, but you're only as good as your last game, and we got to keep an edge about us, you know, and it's still early in the season, so there's a lot of football to be played.
Well, this is a Toledo team that I think they had an 8-minute edge on time of possession against you guys last year. You expect that same kind of
you know, every game takes a new dynamic, you know. Just depends on defensively for us if we can get them off the field. You know, I talked about earlier, third downs are a critical part of the game. So if we can get them off the field after third down, that'll help us in time of possession. And then how are we playing offensively? Are we making plays down the field that lessens the time? Are we taking long drives and having multiple third down conversions? So every game has a new dynamic. At the end of the day, time of possession is important, but the name of the game is points. And whoever has the most points wins the game. So we're about points. I don't care if it's one play, 12 plays, it doesn't matter to me.
I want to get your impression, too. I know it's early in the season, but seeing Boise State go down, it just feels like it really opened up G5 incredibly.
Yeah, you know, I think in today's football environment and the transfer portal, it gives everybody a fresh new start every single year. And there is parity across the board at all the different levels. And so, you know, the group of five is no different. And, you know, every year we all want to project who the top teams are going to be, but it's the people that can sustain, the people that can continue to get better throughout the year and have momentum. Those are the ones that usually are at the top at the end of the season. So still real early for everybody. You know, Boise State, obviously you mentioned them. They had one loss, but that's, you know, that's only one game, you know. So for all of us, we got to continue to play and see the full body of work at the end of the season. All right, guys. Thank you.